Final assembly, and this thing's good to give away.
Good evening everybody, a couple of minutes to go. I thought I would get fired up a bit earlier and make sure that people were online. A couple of minutes, it's well, nearly 8 o'clock, so won't be long now. Get yourselves settled, get your hymn books ready, get your voices sorted, and we'll get going. Oh, I say. Whilst we're waiting, here's the cat you don't see much of. This is Joe, who's the well-behaved one. Sebastian's, he's the one who comes and jumps all over everything. But this is Joe, who's a little bit more well-behaved, aren't you, Joe? And if you want to know why they're called Joe and Sebastian, they're named after the great Johann Sebastian Bach, who contributed so much to the repertoire for the organ. He is the man to go to, plus all those other great choral works. So I suppose I've disturbed you now. Going to go back, what are you going to do? Not sure. Well, it's 8 o'clock, so we'll get started with a few more hymns. I hope you've got yourselves organised and ready. I can see a lot of you are online looking, waiting to go. So I'm going to start with Praise to the Holiest in the Height. is. I hope you've had a good Sunday today. And sun's been shining, which is rather nice. And it's a bit of a change to sit back and just watch the whole service happening from the comfort of home. Very strange in some respects. Not going to church, sorting the choir out, playing for the service, coming home, getting some lunch and all the rest of it. Just adjust that a bit. I had a comment the other evening as to, yesterday, what was the monitor up here from? I've been experimenting with computer organs, and the sounds that you're hearing is a Brindley and Foster organ in St Anne's, Moseley, which has been sampled and played on the computer. So I'm just using that just for a little while this evening, and we'll see how we get on with that. I love fiddling with things. I'm going to let on something now which not many people know, whether the family know. My grandmother, Daphne Clarice Crocker, so that's my mother's mother, Daphne Brown's mother, of course, and Paul and Monty and Brian. She used to call me Meddlesome Matty, because I used to like fiddling with things and experimenting with things, and not a lot of people know that. Well, the world does now, but Meddlesome Matty. So that's something a bit different. I'm going to play May the Mind of Christ My Saviour, which was asked for several times. Asked for a couple of times actually. 739 in hymns and psalms. Sorry, I didn't tell you the number of the hymn, the first one I played, did I? 739 in hymns and psalms, and 504 in singing the faith. May the mind of Christ my Saviour. So moving on to 278 in hymns and psalms and 340 in singing the faith. Somebody asked me for "Oh Praise Ye the Lord," the one which has got the last verse in it, and I went looking for "Oh Praise Ye the Lord," and I couldn't find it. I thought I'm going bonkers. And of course it's Ye Servants of God. So eventually I found it. So 278, and then 340 in Singing the Faith. Ye servants of God, your master proclaim. Let all cry aloud and honour the Son. And then we got this wonderful last verse with a special organ part by Charles Hubert Hastings Parry. Also wrote the tune, of course, where the organist gets to get his feet working. And don't forget there's an amen, amen, and so on and so forth. So, ye servants of God, your master proclaim. Let's see what we can do here. Camera on my feet, didn't I, really? Who was it? Yes, I'm sure John Earnshaw won't mind me quoting him, and a little story he said about somebody who watched a theatre organist playing and said, yes, I do like to watch you play, but I do wish you keep your feet still. Obviously the person didn't have much concept of how playing the organ works, and how not only can we play tunes with our hands, but so there we go. So you can play tunes down there as well if you want to. Hymn which is only in Singing the Faith. O Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the works thy hand hath made. It's a lovely hymn, and I think it's a Swedish melody, and it's been arranged here by Paul Leddington Wright. I think I need just to open something different here. Some books won't stay open and I can't see everything, so let's just do that. Just keep that open there like that. Let's put that back over there. So, O Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the works thy hand hath made. Oh dear. magnificent tune. Now today is a very special day because my primary school teacher, Hilary Keane, is celebrating a special birthday today. She is celebrating her 80th birthday. I'm sure she won't mind me saying her 80th birthday. And I thought it might be nice if we all got together and sang happy birthday for her. So I'll make a start here, and please join in and sing happy birthday to Hilary. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hilary. Happy birthday to you. There we are. A little happy birthday. So let's continue with the next hymn, which is 463. Janet today was saying today that these sessions remind her very much of the Sunday half hour. I think I've mentioned the Sunday half hour before, whereby you could listen rather, as radio. Doesn't matter if it's black and white or colour, does it, on the radio? You would listen to songs of praise on a Sunday evening. Sunday half hour. Sunday half hour, which used to come from various places around the country. I think I actually played on one once when Cheryl Rose Vera, she is now, was Choir Girl of the Year at St Paul's Church, sadly now, which is redundant, but it used to come from all over the place. It must have been great fun to do. I often thought it'd be quite jolly to do one at Truro Methodist. They would come and record. I remember they didn't do it live, you recorded it. So Martin Davies conducted, and I played the organ in St Paul's, and they featured Cheryl in a little solo item. So the next hymn is To God Be the Glory, 463, and in Singing the Faith, 94. To God be the glory, great things he hath done. It must be time for one of those repeat the choruses and go up a gear, I think. I don't know, we haven't done that yet, have we? Great things he has taught us, great things he has done, and great our rejoicing, but purer and higher. Oh yes, well we better go up a key, I think. Remember, it's a tonic shift. However, so here we go then. out with the technology. 2 organs rolled into one then. The Wyvern, this, and then the computer. Brindley and Foster from somewhere up north. Brindley and Foster, the organ builders who built our organ in Truro Methodist, came from Sheffield, which is a long way away, really, from Truro. Now, what on earth were they doing down here? Well, who knows? One can speculate. There were some great big organ building firms around, Willis of London, and so on, and Harrison, but we've got an organ from Sheffield. Not complaining, it's absolutely fine, but a mystery as to perhaps how it came to be in Truro. Suggestion perhaps that the minister possibly at the time had some connections with Sheffield. Who knows, that's a complete speculation sort of on my part, but there we go. I suppose we shall really never know. We have an excellent book about the history of the organ in the church written by Alison Spence, who was a member of the choir for lots of years, and has gone back to Scotland now, so our loss is Scotland's gain. She says she hasn't come across a church quite like Truro Methodist. So I'm going to conclude this evening with The Day Thou Gavest, which is 648 in hymns and psalms and 147 in singing the faith. Now, there's a particular request, and a poignant request really, in that I heard the news yesterday that sadly dear Oprah Griffin had passed away. Oprah was a member of Truro Methodist for lots and lots of years. Her husband Howard was church treasurer for a good number of years, and sadly he passed on, and now Oprah has passed on to join with him at the grand old age of 96. So John asked would I play The Day Thou Gavest, Lord is Ended, which I'm only too delighted to do with her in mind. So we'll close out this evening then with The Day Thou Gavest. I know it's great favourites of lots of people all over the world, and the sun that bids us rest is waking our brethren beneath the western sky. So The Day Thou Gavest. thank you for your company. I do hope that you've had a good day. That brings a Sunday half hour from 12 Heads to a close. Keep sending your requests in. My apologies for those that I've missed. I'm going to put Shine, Jesus Shine on the list for Tuesday. And the tune Lamfair has come up as well. So keep your requests coming in, and I will endeavour to do my best and play for you. This will be available on Facebook, and it's also going to be available on YouTube. So as always, stay safe, do take good care of yourselves, and good night and God bless.